friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. Today I want to share 5 things I no longer purchase at the grocery store to save money. And these have nothing to do with gardening. So if you're looking to save money at the grocery store but you don't garden, no worries. You don't have to grow your own food to make these tips work. And I think number 1 might surprise you. Let's get started.
By the way, if you would like help building your food storage, scroll down to the description box of this video and click this link for our free 1-year food storage plan. We calculated a year's supply of food for one person, then broke that data down into a week-by-week list of items to build your pantry on a budget. We'll send it straight to your inbox. If you're new here, we invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss all of our upcoming food preservation, pantry storage, and gardening tutorials. Now back to the kitchen.
Number 1 is chicken breasts. I no longer purchase chicken breasts, and that used to be the only form of chicken that I bought because I didn't really like deboning meat. But I have forced myself to get over that to save some money. What I buy now is these 10-pound bags of chicken leg quarters. These are in your freezer section. They are marketed as frying chicken, and they are approximately, in my area, they are almost always $7 to $8 for a 10-pound bag, and every now and then they go on sale for $5 to $6 for a 10-pound bag, and that's when I stock up. And what I'll do is when I get home from the grocery store, I will take out 2 of these really large chicken leg quarters and vacuum seal them so that I have multiple packages of chicken. And when it's time to cook a meal, I can just grab one of my 2-piece chicken leg quarters out of the freezer and get cooking. Now, the caveat is, by saving money, the caveat is that we are adding a little bit of time to our prep because we are going to have to debone that chicken. But the dark meat is so much better, and we are saving a lot of money. I don't know about you, but where I live, chicken breast price have just absolutely skyrocketed, and I can't bring myself to pay $15 to $20 for 5 little chunks of meat. So that's number 1. Number 2 is chicken broth, vegetable broth, beef broth, any of that type of, any kind of broth. So I used to purchase 5 to 6 cartons of chicken broth every month from the grocery store because I use it in my cooking all the time. If I'm making a roux, if I'm making gravy, soups, stocks, chilies, all sorts of things. It was actually when I discovered that 10-pound bag of chicken meat that I shared in the previous point that I had to cook that in a crock pot, and it produced a lot of liquid. I had a bunch of veggie scraps left over. I threw those in. I just allowed that crock pot to continue cooking for 24 hours, and it produced a delicious broth. I have since made onion broth and just plain vegetable broth, no meat, and they've all turned out fantastic. So that I'm saving a lot of money that way. If you want to get into making your own broth, but you don't know how to pressure can, because broth is a low acid food, it has to be pressure canned in order to be preserved safely. But if you don't know how to pressure can yet, you can freeze broth, and we actually have a little kitchen hack for you to help you freeze broth and get almost all the air out of the bag without a vacuum sealer, without any kind of machine, and we'll link that above. The number 3 thing that I don't buy at the grocery store anymore to save money, and that is beans. I have both canned beans here and dehydrated beans because we put them up both ways depending on how we are going to use them. I started making my own beans at home simply to save money, but what I didn't realize was the taste. The taste of home canned beans are incredible. I kind of thought a bean was a bean, like there's not going to be a whole lot of difference in taste between beans at the store and cooking dried beans yourself at home, but the flavor was just incredible. And not only that, when you make them yourself at home, you can add whatever seasonings that you want to the jar so that it's ready to just open and go, and you don't even have to really season it when you go to cook it. You can purchase dried beans in bulk for pennies per ounce, and it is a huge money saver. Number 4, I don't purchase anymore any kind of cream of chicken soup, cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, cream of celery, any of those soups. I don't purchase those anymore. I have replaced it with one master mix. This jar is empty, and that's because we go through this all the time, and I am out and need to refill it. But this one master mix, cream of master mix, can replace all of those cans. So the base recipe that we have for you is, it can be swapped out 1 for 1 for a can of cream of chicken soup. If you want an even more deeper chicken type flavor, then you can put in an extra tablespoon of chicken broth powder. And then when you want to make something like cream of mushroom, you just need to have some dried mushrooms on hand. For cream of celery, you just need some dried celery on hand. And you're going to use about a tablespoon of whatever vegetable you need to make your cream of soup. So we have a whole video dedicated to showing you how to make that master mix, and I'll link that above. Number 5, things I no longer buy at the grocery store: jams and jellies. So I have 3 children and they love their PB&Js. They love a little bit of jam on a biscuit on breakfast for supper night. I do as well, so does my husband. So we go through a good decent bit of jams and jellies. And I used to purchase that from the grocery store even as recently as last year. I just made the transition last year when I learned how to can. I avoided jams and jellies for a while because it seemed a little complicated to get the jam to set. I kept reading all these Facebook posts and these preservation groups that I'm in, and they're talking about how hard it is to get the jam to set, and I was like, well, I'm not that experienced yet. I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna learn how to can all these other things. Well, last year I finally bit the bullet and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make some jam. And it turned out fantastic. Not only did it taste fantastic, I knew exactly what ingredients were going in it, only 3 or 4 ingredients. And I was able to purchase strawberries at dirt cheap prices during the year when they are harvested and farmers are trying to move their product before it goes bad. They will sell at very cheap prices. This year I was able to get 24 quarts of strawberries for $8, and I was able to put up many pints of strawberry jam. We have a strawberry jam canning tutorial, this as the actual one that we make in the video, and I will link that above. Okay, y'all, that is 5 things I no longer purchase at the grocery store, and I hope that was helpful to you. I hope you're able to pull some ideas of how you can save at home, and we will see you next time. Bye.